Having a weak squat is not a fun time. Even worse than that is having no idea how to actually fix it and get it stronger. What we're going to be going into today are 7 squat variations that you can implement into your training to get you bigger and stronger, but also understand why we implement these and where you would put them in your program. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Variation number 1 is a paused squat. So paused squats can be utilized for many different things. Most importantly, it's used to help you essentially, restart, blah, 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 blah. The first variation we're going to be going over is a paused squat. Why do you use a paused squat? Well, just like pausing any other lift, what we're trying to do is work on your positioning, work on your stability and your ability to maintain quality positioning in your lift. Most people will pause their squat at the bottom, but you can pause it halfway, you can do multiple pauses, whatever you want to do, whatever fits your program specifically in your particular weakness. So when performing a pause squat, needing to make sure that you don't change your form up, right? You want to keep your form, and I thought there was a box there, but I guess there wasn't. You want to keep your form pretty similar to what you would do with a normal squat, but what you want to really focus in on is your breathing and your bracing and your positioning. So for most people, they get into the bottom of the squat position, they have a tendency of rounding forward. With a pause squat, you're forced to maintain that position, maintain that middle foot pressure, hold, 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 and then drive yourself right up. They're a great way to get a lot of quality work in while also reducing the weight and forcing you to, again, maintain that stability, maintain that positioning. So if you struggle out of the hole, maybe you should work on some pause squats to help you kind of fix that, but on to our next variation to help you get bigger and stronger squats. Variation number 2. This one would more than likely be used for hypertrophy or muscle building, but can also be used as a teaching tool to, again, further help you position yourself in better positions during your squat, right? So this is a 1 1/4 squat. You can do this multiple different ways. The way I like to do it is you go down, you descend, you come up just about a quarter. You can call these 1 1/2 squats, whatever you want to call it. Go down again, and then you go all the way up. So the time under tension for this exercise is way, way more than a normal squat. And again, it forces you to maintain quality positions, which over the course of time will help ingrain that pattern for bigger and heavier weights. So let me demonstrate. So just like a normal squat, you get your normal squat position, you come down, come up a little bit, right? You have to really focus in on that position, focus in on where your body is in space, down, and then back up. As you can see, that one can get really spicy really, really quick, but it's a great teaching tool. It's a great tool to do in the off season to kind of build some muscle, and it's kind of fun. By fun, I mean really, really miserable. But on to the next one. Here we go, variation number 3. Excellent. All right, next up, every powerlifter's favorite squat variation, the front squat. In all seriousness, the front squat is a widely underutilized exercise that can benefit a lot of people. First off, why would you use it? Front squats are a great way to get a lot of lower body volume and change up the pattern just enough to get a little bit more quad dominance, but also work on your ability to maintain a really good position with that upper back and that torso. So instead of thinking about this as a back squat holding a weight in the front, what you want to do, you can either cross your arms, and I don't know if this is going to screw up the mic, it probably will, right? You can do like the genie version, or you can do like the full grip if you're an athlete, unlike me. But the idea is simple. You want to create the shelf. You want to drive those shoulders forward, drive those elbows in, and maintain that good rib cage and pelvic positioning. And you want to initiate with your knees. You start with the knees and then go to the hips. So we go knees, hips, sink it down, keeping that good position. That bar should stay right over that midfoot. And as you come up, driving that chest up, right through that midfoot, through that whole range of motion. This is a great supplemental lift to your main movement, but it's also a great movement to focus in on in the off season. Build up some muscle in your quads, build up some muscle in that upper back, and you'll be surprised at how much more weight you can move when you go back to that low bar position. Next variation, and this would not be an Elite FTS video without a yoke bar making an appearance is a safety squat bar squat, right? You can use other versions, but let's be real, the yoke bar is definitely the best one on the market. When you're doing these, and why you would actually do these, is that if you notice here, the weight is shifted a little bit higher up than normal, and the weight is actually being pushed forward. So it's forcing my shoulders to come forward if I didn't have that control. So it allows us to work on our ability to maintain stability here, but also work that upper back to maintain that stiffness and stability that you need with a low bar squat or a deadlift, right? So just like anything else, keep your normal squat stance. You may even be able to do more of a front squat style of squat, or a little bit more knee involved with these, or you can go out wider, do your normal squat that way. The key is use whatever form you use for your squat and just do it with a yoke bar in your back. This is, again, is going to help build that stability in the upper back, build your core and torso strength to maintain that position, because this thing is going to want to yank you down as soon as you start lowering the bar. This actually is a great segue into our final variation. If you have access to a yoke bar or a safety squat bar, you can do what's called a Hatfield squat. Hatfield squats are great builders of the lower body and actually provide more stability for you if you don't have access to a leg press or a hack squat or something. So it's a more stabilized squat variation where you don't have to use your hands. So if you're using a yoke bar, you can either use a band, right? You're gonna hold yourself in the rack, you're gonna walk the weight out, or use safeties. And you're gonna use these to help you balance. So now from this position, you're gonna come down and up, right? If you get stuck, you can use those hands to drive you up. But the added balance makes this a lot easier than you would with a normal free squat. What that means is that you can actually overload a Hatfield squat with way more weight than you could possibly do with a free squat, which is great if you're looking for hypertrophy or you're looking to build that strength in the off season. Again, this variation provides you with that stability to use a ton of weight on this compared to a regular squat. So guys, that's all the variations I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you have any questions or if you used any of these variations in the past with really good success, put that comment down below. Share your experience with any of these to help educate everybody else that's watching this video. And on behalf of myself and Jacob and the rest of elitefts, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.